Welcome back again to the Mockingbird Talk Show with Simon. Nice to see you guys again. I want to say thank you to all the beloved audiences. Our numbers of fans have exceeded 100,000 because of your support. And also thank you to our professional historian, Mr. Toby. Mr. Toby, so how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Simon. One thing though, my 6-year-old kid frequently posts many questions to me, and he's literally just taking me as a Wikipedia. He talks a lot about his school, and asks for my help all the time.
Kids always ask questions. You better have some good answers for him. Because kids at this time are exploring the world, and their mindsets and all that are getting shaped by his environment.
Exactly. This is a serious thing. I mean, education. I think we can learn a lot from Atticus from the book we're discussing about because he's a great father, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he definitely is. He is a great role model for his children, especially when all the people around him have such strong prejudice toward African Americans. He still persists with what his conscience tells him to do. This for sure makes him the target of other people's attacks. Many people humiliated him in front of his children. Even in this condition, he never broke his principles. I think Atticus was very great at communication with his children.
Um, Atticus, I must say, masters the art of communication. He himself is the best teacher for his children. Atticus respects his children instead of making himself the boss and ordering his children to execute his own wills. He's more like a friend to Jim and Scout. Yeah, he established a when Scout asked him the difficult questions, he patiently explained to her. Let me quote from the book. If you shouldn't be defending him, then why aren't you doing it? For a number of reasons, said Atticus. The main one is that if I didn't, I couldn't hold up my head in the town. I couldn't represent this county in this legislate. I couldn't even tell you or Jim to not do something again. You mean if you didn't defend that man, and I wouldn't have to mind you anymore? That's about right. You might have heard some ugly talk about it at school, but do one thing for me if you will. You just hold your head up high and keep those fists down. No matter what anyone else says to you, don't you let them out your goat. Try fighting with your head for a change. This shows that he established an authority. Here, Atticus explains that this heavily morality issue in a simple way that Scout can understand. He perfectly illustrated that the concept of conscious and moral principle to Scout. The authority of a parent is built upon their actions. Atticus uses his own actions to set up the example and instructs his children to do the same thing.
He is a great father. He's great because he uses his own actions to influence his children. I read in some articles that children will automatically imitate what their parents do and behave. So I'm sure that Jim and Scott will be righteous and kind people under the influence of Atticus.
Simon, you seem to have some knowledge about raising a kid. Simon, do you pay attention to another character, Aunt Alexandra?
Yeah, Jim and Scott don't quite like her, right? Why is that?
Atticus is like the foil character of Aunt Alexandra. Compared to Atticus, Aunt Alexandra represents the traditional ideology. For instance, she is disappointed with Scout because she is not ladylike. Most importantly, she regards family privileges as an important thing. Simon, do you recall that during Christmas, Scout had a fight with Alexandra's grandson, Francis?
Oh, yeah, Francis sneered at Atticus for that same reason, and he said that same word. Scott was furious and beat Francis up.
Why do you think Francis speak those insulting words out of his mind? I personally believe that his grandma, Alexandra, influenced him quite a lot. And Francis naturally acquired this mindset, the kind of mindset that a person has produced this kind of words. It was all because of the education he had experienced through and his parents and his family's influence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, education is very important. Today, besides the discussion of racism and Maycomb, we all have a lesson on how to raise our children. So if you want your children to be righteous and kind, you better be kind too, and you have to prove it by your actions. So nice to have you guys, and of course, Mr. Toby here today. If you are interested in exploring more about this book, come back for our next episode. We'll see you again.